Hi guys, Squall here, and welcome back to another episode of Trucking Diaries. If you remember, we are en route down to Oxnard. We've come out of San Francisco. We've got some cars, and I split the journey into two because it's because of the rescale. Things are quite far now. If we take any other big jobs in the future, I'm going to have to do the same thing. I don't want to create these massive videos. It's much easier to create, you know, little 30-minute kind of videos that are easier for you guys to watch. So we'll do it that way. But yeah, we're en route. We've decided to take the scenic route down the coastline rather than take the freeway. Obviously, I've got to rediscover all the roads again because of the rescale, but we'll get there. We'll get there in the end. So for now, we can just drive down here and enjoy the beautiful view. Those little bits of steam and cloud that come in are kind of weird. Like on a hot sunny day like this, I don't think you'd see that very much. Oh, I have got a mod turned on. Just looking at that truck's lights, I have got a mod turned on, which is in the Steam Workshop. Thoroughly recommend it. I think I add it to my mod spreadsheet. It's called something like improved vehicle lights or something like that. Improved vehicle lights, I think it is. And it really makes a huge difference. The lighting just looks so much better. Even on like the truck and stuff, the way it casts light on the ground looks so much better. Can definitely recommend that one to you. It's in the Steam Workshop. There are a lot of good mods in the Steam Workshop. Sadly, there are also other mods that can't be in the Steam Workshop. I remember reading or being told about there's a file size limit, I think, on the Steam Workshop. I can't remember what the limit is, but I think some of the bigger mods, like Pro mods for example, really could never be in the Steam Workshop because they're just too big for Steam. But I do wonder why Jazzycat has not put his stuff in the workshop yet. Or is it because he likes the ad revenue? Well, you know, it's fair enough. I'm not saying he shouldn't do that. I'm saying, is it because of that? Or is it because of the file size limit? Or is it some other reason? I honestly don't know. Because I kind of thought that Jazzycat would. But maybe I was wrong about that. Wow, this is twisty road. Now, we're behind another truck. I kind of like it when we are. I like following behind other trucks. I don't know why, but it kind of feels like I'm on the road with other people. I know they're just AI, but compared to driving on an expansive road with nobody else on it, I prefer this. It also keeps me in check because the guy will do random things with his brakes. I don't know about you. You may or may not be a driver. I mean, you might be too young to drive, or maybe you've been a driver for 30 years. I don't know. But the way my stepfather kind of taught me to drive is that, I mean, what he said is kind of true, but isn't really true. But what he said was brakes are for stopping. That's what he said. Brakes are for stopping. And what he meant by that was, you don't use your brakes unless you actually need to stop, which, like I say, is not strictly true. The principle he was trying to convey to me, though, was sound. You don't use your brakes because you just need to slow down a little bit because you didn't plan the road very well. As in, you need to look ahead and see what's coming down the road. And this is my approach to driving. I look down the road, I'm constantly watching what's happening. Am I about to go down a hill? Am I about to go up a hill? Do I need to slow down for a bend? Are the lights up ahead that I need to stop for? What's the vehicle in front of me doing? And if you kind of learn to anticipate the road better, then you will use your brake a lot less. And I sit behind some vehicles in real life on the road, and the amount of brake usage actually scares me. Because as I explained to my daughter, because she's recently sort of got her first car, and I say to her, every time you put your foot on the brake, it's going to cost you money. And it is. It's going to cost you money. Because every time you put your foot on that brake, in the vehicle, there are brake discs and brake pads that are now coming together. And friction and wear and tear happens every time you put your foot on the brake. So every time you put your foot on either of those pedals, it's going to cost you money, whether it's the brake or the accelerator. It's going to burn fuel or it's going to wear down those brake pads. One of the two is going to happen. Your vehicle has momentum. It's carrying momentum. It's got energy. You know, if you've burnt fuel to get it to the top of a hill, then when it's going down the hill, you're recovering the energy back as kinetic energy, as speed. So you need to anticipate that, because you can get that speed back for free. Likewise, it can run away with you, particularly if you're a truck, and it can take you too quick, and there's nothing you have to slow down at that point, because you're going to reach the speed limit. But you can also use it to your advantage. If you see that there's a bend coming up, rather than keep the accelerator down like this, and then when you realise you're going too quick, kind of hitting the brake to slow down, rather than doing that, just look ahead, back off the throttle. The vehicle will slow down on its own if you back off the throttle. And that's the kind of advanced driving that he was trying to convey when he was saying that the brakes are for stopping. Going around these twisty turns here, you shouldn't be seeing any brake usage. Like that truck that was in front of me, he was like brake, on a bend, brake, on a bend, brake, on a bend, brake. I've seen that in real life. And what I do is I back off away from that vehicle. I leave some distance between me and them, because otherwise I will have to react. If I'm too close, I'm going to have to react to their brake. I'm going to have to hit my brake because I'm so close to them, and I might go in the back of them. So instead what I do is I back off. Look at this, I'm backing off on my throttle now. I've still not used my brake. In fact, you know what? I'll tell you when I use the brake next. How about that? I'll tell you when I press the brake. I can't show you because there's no overlay I can put on. Unlike racing games, I can bring up an overlay that will show you my throttle and brake usage, but I'll tell you when I press the brake. And that's the kind of driving I think everybody should aim for. In real life and in a sim, you can practice it in a sim because all the principles are the same. But yeah, I was just behind that truck there. That's what triggered me to think of it. Because it is, it's not something they ever teach you. Like, if you take a driving course, unless you do the advanced driving, and even then I'm not sure they teach you that kind of thing. They teach you to look for potholes and stuff like that, but I'm not sure they teach you about energy management. And energy management is particularly important when it comes to fighter pilots, you know. Military aircraft, managing your energy is very important. But in terms of driving, it can save you money, quite literally save you money, just by learning how to do some of this stuff. So if you're in a sim and you've not yet passed your driving test, and you know obviously one day you're going to take your test, think about this stuff, practice it now, learn how to do it. Just practice driving down a road like this, sticking to the speed limit and not using your brake. And if you can do that, you're well on your way to a more advanced driving, trust me. But yeah, right now I still don't touch the brake. See if we can get away with the 7H. I think we can. Yeah, I've still not touched the brake. In case you think I might have forgotten. And even then, if I was speeding up a bit too much, if I've got the retarder or an engine brake or something, I could just bring that in and not wear down the brake pads. So there are other ways of just shaving off speed. You don't have that in a car, obviously. You don't have engine braking in a car quite the same way that you have on a truck, but even so, if you back off on the throttle, you'll find that your vehicle will slow down. Particularly in a car, if you're in a higher gear, if you're in like a third or fourth gear and the revs are up there, you'll find that you get a lot of engine braking effects if you back off on the throttle. Just practice, just try stuff, you'll see what I mean. Anyway, enough of that. I think maybe you're bored of that one. Do you know what? That guy over there kind of hang gliding, I presume he's kind of riding thermals and stuff. I kind of always wanted to do that. You know where they... now I'm going to have to hit the brake now because we've just had a 40 speed limit change. And in this game, they happen quite aggressively. So yeah, I had to hit the brake then. I had no choice. But other than that, I haven't touched it. Yeah, you know where you've got a boat and they put like a hang glider on the back? Or like a parachute, effectively. One of those slim parachutes, and then they drag you along the boat until you take off. Kind of always wanted to do that. That looks like so much fun. But yeah, it's like stuff like the fuel management in this game is managed, as in it's monitored. You know, if you put your foot on the throttle, you're going to burn more fuel. It'll cost you more money. The whole braking side of things, nah. Tire wear not covered. Brake pads not covered. It just doesn't happen. Like if you're a better driver in this game, apart from the fuel usage, nothing else matters. Which is a shame, really, because I'd kind of like to see that stuff. I'd also kind of like more advanced physics in this game. I'd like the truck to feel a lot more realistically heavy. Like these things are massive, and they don't feel like it. You can kind of... I'm using the brake now, by the way, because I'm slowing down to 30. You can feel the weight in a real truck. You know, when I've driven a real truck, going uphill you can feel it, going downhill you can feel it, but when you turn a corner, that's when you can really feel the effect. And in this, you can just... Look at this, you just chuck the truck around, it doesn't care. It doesn't list, it doesn't tilt. You can go at silly speeds, and I would like to see more realistic vehicle simulation going on. I don't want to jump into this game and feel like it's GTA in a truck, which is how some people seem to drive it. I want to feel it like, if I go around a corner, I want it to feel the understeer, I want it to feel it tipping, I want it to feel on the edge because of the weight in the trailer. I don't know if there's any plans to implement that stuff, but that's what I'd like to see. Right, 55. Right, how far have we got left now? Let's have a look. 119. So I don't know about you, but already it's felt like a much longer journey than it would have done before 1.5. Much longer. A lot more enjoyable. And if you look out the window, there's just so much... Like, the detail down there is flying past you. And if you don't look, just pay attention to the crash barriers and the trees, the rocks. There's lots of stuff going on here. The funny thing is you know, when I stream Eurotruck on Sunday Night Trucking, there's often people from the Pro Mods team come into the chat, and the things they notice, like if I try another map mod or drive around some scenery, the things they notice is hilarious. Like, I see them in chat going, oh, I saw that broken texture there, like, blah, 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 saw this down here. I'm looking at it thinking, flipping heck, I never even noticed any of this stuff. But they've got an eye for it, and the reason they've got an eye for it is because they're map authors. That's what they do. They create maps in this game, and that's what they look for, all of this detail. And when SCS puts out a map, you can bet that what they do is sit there and look at it with the kind of eyes that we just don't have. Like, they're looking at stuff that we're not looking at. But if you pay a bit of attention, you can kind of appreciate what's gone into some of these maps. It's a lot of work. You know, every single bush and tree, every single light, every single flower pot, you know, just everything had to be put there. Oh, that side's clear. Seafood? I don't know about you, but I absolutely hate seafood. There are not many things that come from the sea that I like. Prawns is one of them. I can eat cod and haddock. Salmon I quite like. But I think isn't salmon a freshwater fish? What I don't like is stuff that smells of the sea. Like, I can't describe it, but there's a certain smell of the sea that I don't like. And most stuff that comes out of it, like, I would never go anywhere near oysters or mussels or bleh. Anything that smells fishy. Oh god, no, I just can't do it. It makes me gag. Like, it really does make me gag. It's the one thing I can't do is seafood. I don't know if he's going straight on, or is he going... Yeah, I think he is. Alright. All the vehicles in front of him turned right, and then he went straight on. That was my bad. I badly guessed what he might do. I think we need to be in this lane. Oh, this is... Yeah, this is Santa Maria. This is the new city. Yeah, you may or may not have seen this before. Depending on when you've played the public beta or not. This is the new one that they added. We took a slight detour here, didn't we? Just to make sure we got this discovered. Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's not a massive city. I tell you what, though, if you drive down to Phoenix... Phoenix now is massive. Even Vegas feels a lot bigger. Like, twice the size. It's crazy. It takes you so much longer to get from one side to the other. Come on. What are we waiting for? Seriously? That seemed unnecessarily long. Yeah, 2000 revs seems to be the optimum change position on the Kenny. How many miles have I done in this thing? 725 miles? What? Oh, hang on. 8,500. 8,500 we've done. That's not bad. Sure likes to pull. I like this truck. I'd be happy to drive this truck. Okay, I really could do with him moving over and being nice. That's one thing I wish they put in the game as well. Getting the vehicles, like when there's a lane merging in, just getting the vehicles to move over. You know, that would be so much better if they did that. 85 miles, you can see where we are now, going down the coast. The water or the sea is over there somewhere, we can't see it now, we've come inland quite a bit. But yeah, not far to go. Probably about another, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes maybe, of actual time. If you look in the distance, look at those trees, they're kind of blurred out, you see that? That's a trick to stop it looking jagged. That's what that is. Because if you imagine like an object, like a tree, at the distance, on your screen it only occupies a handful of pixels, you know, maybe like 50, 100 pixels. It's not a lot. And what can happen is if you try to render the detail of a tree into like 50 pixels, it tends to look rubbish, and as you move around, it kind of goes jagged and dances almost. The pixels start to dance. And that's an aliasing effect. And one trick they use is to blur it out. Because if they blur it, then you don't see all the jaggedness. It's true. Which is why things at a distance get blurred out. Is that an oil platform? Sure is. Alright, we're back on the coast. Lovely jubbly. These buildings on the left look very kind of aged, don't they? Very kind of like a concrete jungle almost. And then you've got this kind of pier over here with just a few buildings next to it. Actually, you can turn down though. Where the heck does that go? Do you know, I bet if you go down that little slip road there, I bet there's like an Easter egg or something. I never did discover all the Easter eggs in this map. Although I'm sure they're all over Steam if I wanted to look for them. It's a very nice coastline, this, but if you look at it, it's not the kind of place you can go walking your dog, really, because there's nowhere to stop. Although there is a road down there. Oh, it's a railway track. Oh man, I bet that's a nice journey. Who puts a railway track within meters of the sea like that? That's crazy. Bad things are going to happen. Whoa, now that is a fuel station. Right, brakes. Let's get down to 30. Right, I think that is the big chemical factory. When you're doing, there you go, Texaco. You see how it's got the sign now because I've got that mod? Now, doesn't that look a lot better, Texaco? The branding of that looks way better than the default. But I tell you what, that is a big plant, that is. Presume there's a job pickup area in there as well. Actually, the weather's gone quite cloudy. I've just realised. Beginning to wonder if it might actually rain at some point. I think the rain probability in California is pretty low, but I'm sure it happens. Oh, let's go this way. Oxnard, there we go. Right lane, exit only. That's us. Oxnard, exit now. Signal ahead on the road, it says. Okay, looks like we've almost made it. 14 miles, so it looks like it's on the other side of town. Time to get paid. It's been a pretty good run, actually. We've, so far, had no major incidents. Although this guy's trying quite hard to give us one. Idiot. The sad thing is, because it's AI, there's not even any point getting angry. There's no point tooting your horn. They don't care. Like, and if you ram them, you get fined. There's just there's no way you can make the AI pay for any of that. They just do what they like. Did you see what he just did? He indicated, went into the middle lane, then came immediately back again. I'll just put it down to bad driving. Also, the weather's gone from cloudy to blue sky. How does that even work? You stay. I'm going to stay right back from this guy. I want him to stay away from me. I really don't trust him. Right, I think we need to be in the left lane. I love those school buses. They're so cool. They're so distinctive. Tell you what, the frame rates seem to be struggling a little bit in Oxnard. Everywhere else has been fantastic, but in Oxnard, oh, it's gone okay again now. I think it was there's something back there in the map that seems to be a bit laggy. Maybe this. I mean, this is 1.5 beta. I don't know. Maybe it just needs a bit more optimization. They did say on the blog that it does need a bit more polish. I think maybe that was one of the bits that needs polishing. I noticed it when we got off the freeway there. I noticed that the frame rate started to take a tanking, but it's gone now, so it's something back there. I wish that dialogue didn't come up when I throttled. That should be an option. I don't know why everybody's driving around with the lights on. It's just that pickup. Everybody else has got them off, I think. Alright, Mr. Police Car, don't even think about pulling out in front of me. Okay, left lane. Now, what kind of drop-off have we got today, I wonder? Oh, it's a rail export one. Taking the cars to the rail. Oh, right, I see. There it is. There it is. We've got quite a lot of space here. We've got the easier one. The nightmare one is round the back there. So what we'll do is we'll pull up over here. We'll set up for a turn. And we shall try... May have left that turn a little bit too late, we'll see. It could be okay. As long as we can miss this thing here. That's going to restrict when I can start to straighten up, actually. To keep turning. No, I messed that up. I was focused quite a lot on not hitting this thing, and I straightened up too early. That's okay, I think we're going to miss that. Yeah, that's close. That is close. Okay, this is not going terribly well. I think what I'll do is I'll go over here instead. Oh, freight train. Driven one of those. Train sim. Try and get a more gentle turn so we don't have to do a harsh straighten up. Oh man, I've just gone down the side of my Kenny. No! That, I kind of made a mess of that one, I've got to admit. Didn't do very well at all on that one. Put a massive scratch down the side of my Kenny though. I should get fined for that. I mean, that should cause damage. And that freight train's pretty good. Double stacked containers on the back, look at that. Again though, nowhere near long enough. That should be way longer than that. Let's get paid. Actually, my truck needs a repair, did you notice? Basic reward 14k, bunch of bonuses, total 18,913 XP, and we are so close to level 14. Let's have a quick look at that. That gives us 98 grand in the bank. Which means 285. Okay. We're getting close to the point where we could pay off most of that, like pay off 100k and then take out 2 100 loans, and then pay one off quicker, if you see what I mean. So things are doing okay. Let's have a look at the company manager, driver manager. Alright, that's better. They're starting to bring in the bacon a bit now. Look at this, 2.5k. Doing nice. John M is bringing in 2.5k as well. So he's doing nice. This guy, Valentino, his money is starting to come up. You remember last time I commented on it, but you can see how much money he's starting to make now. He's gone on a much longer journey. Much longer journey. So I think the long distance is paying off for him big time now. It really makes a difference. So that should allow us to make more money much more quickly. And get rid of that loan. Maybe even upgrade my truck at some point, although I am enjoying the Kenny, I must admit. I mean, I could go for the sleeper instead. But I think I want to sort out the financial side of things before I start splashing out on my truck. You know? Makes more business sense. Although, you know, I'd love my truck to look better than this. At the end of the day, I want to get rid of those loans. Hope you enjoyed that little kind of two-parter trip. We're going to have to do some more of those, because, like I say, the map's a lot bigger. But I'm enjoying American trucking a lot more now, after the 1.5 beta patch, I really am. So that is it for this video. Hope you enjoyed that one. Take care, guys. Happy trucking.